I think that standing up for a dude like Shakur Stevenson will only lower your credibility in boxing. I think that in 2025, if you side with somebody like Shakur Stevenson, you're gonna make yourself look bad. Terrence Bud Crawford did an interview with Ring Magazine. This dude had the audacity to diss Gervonta Davis in defense of Shakur Stevenson.
What have I ever hated on Tank about? There's nothing to hate on him about. It's like night and day, boy. You can't even tie my shoestrings.
Bud Crawford, that is cat, bro. If Gervonta cannot tie your shoestrings, you would not be even talking about the man. If Gervonta can't tie your shoestrings, you wouldn't waste airtime talking about Gervonta Davis. You only mention Gervonta just to get me talking about your interview. You only mention Gervonta just to get Ring Magazine to post about your interview. You can't tie Gervonta's shoestrings, bro. Let's be real.
He ain't from the trenches.
Somebody who actually was telling the truth about Shakur Stevenson, Keith one-time Thurman. I'm not the biggest Keith Thurman fan, but I am a fan of what the man said. He was talking about Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis resumes, and the man spoke facts. You cannot compare Shakur resume to Gervonta resume. Shakur ain't beating nobody.
I still think Shakur hasn't beat people like Tank. What have you done? Who have you fought? Who have you beaten? Tank's got names, bro. I don't think Shakur's been in the fire, man.
I disagree with Keith Thurman. Shakur Stevenson has been in that fire just once against Edwin de los Santos. And you saw the man's reaction to being in there with a dangerous power puncher. Shakur ran all 12 rounds. That is how Shakur Stevenson reacts to being in the fire. That is how Shakur Stevenson reacts when he ended with a dangerous fighter. Don't you ever compare Shakur Stevenson to Gervonta Tank Davis.
The resume's not there. The resume's not there.
I don't think Shakur Stevenson got a good win on his resume. Say what you want about Shakur Stevenson. You cannot name the 3 champions that he beat. Shakur is a champion in 3 different weight classes, right? Without Googling it on your phone, can you type up the 3 champions that Shakur Stevenson beat? I highly doubt it. And if you say you could, you Googled it on your phone. The truth of the matter is Shakur Stevenson does not have the names on his resume like Gervonta got the names on his resume. The only dangerous fighter the man fought, the man ran all 12 rounds. Keith Thurman is right. You cannot even compare Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis in the same sentence. It's night and day. It's cats and dogs. Gervonta is a dog. You already know what Shakur Stevenson is. D-riding Shakur Stevenson ain't gonna get you nowhere in the sport of boxing. Rooting for Shakur Stevenson will get you nowhere in the sport of boxing. If you go on Shakur Stevenson Instagram right now, he is still celebrating his win against an electrician. Could y'all imagine if Gervonta Davis, even Devin Haney, was celebrating the win against an electrician? Let's just say that Devin Haney fought an electrician. The man wouldn't fight an electrician. Let's just say Gervonta fought an electrician. Gervonta wouldn't fight an electrician. But Shakur Stevenson fought an electrician, and he is praising himself as I speak.
Gervonta Davis is a great fighter.
I even think that Lamont Roach in 2025 would step on Shakur Stevenson. Shakur is not that guy. Really quick, do y'all remember when Shakur Stevenson fought in Newark, New Jersey, his home city? And his home city was booing the man, and they walked out of the fight. Shakur Stevenson own city walked out his fight because they know the man can't punch. Shakur had the audacity to tweet that night. I wonder how much they paid them to leave at the exact same time so ESPN could show it on camera. Shakur Stevenson, nobody paid them to leave, bro. Nobody ain't trying to see you fight, especially in Newark, New Jersey. Devin Haney, somebody else who wishes their name was Gervonta Davis, reposted this from a fanboy. Talking about Ramirez, we coming. You forgot to type up no Diddy, bro. Just because you fighting Jose Ramirez don't mean you're gonna beat Jose Ramirez. Low-key, I think Jose Ramirez might just catch Devin on that chinny chin that has not recovered yet from them Ryan Garcia left hooks. Don't be surprised if Jose Ramirez dog walks Devin Haney. And y'all know how in the sport of basketball, you always find a commentator that played basketball before. In football, you always find a commentator that played football before. But only in the sport of boxing do every single commentator talk they talk and never threw a punch a day in their life. Bill Haney reposted this. Two-Tone the Superstar, a man who never threw a punch a day in his life and never will throw a punch a day in his life. Talking about Gervonta Davis is not that guy. At least Devin Haney got up after getting dropped over and over and over again. What Two-Tone the Superstar failed to mention is that the dude that dropped Devin Haney over and over and over again did not land one single left hook when he fought Gervonta Davis. What Two-Tone the Superstar failed to mention is that the dude that dropped Devin Haney over and over and over again, Gervonta Davis already stopped. But then again, in the sport of boxing, when you somebody like this, doing a podcast with the New York City Rat, what do you expect? You gotta consider the source. This dude does a podcast with somebody who is a known government informant. But then again, you gotta consider the source of who Bill Haney reposting.
My stepmom is white, so is she?
Speaking of Gervonta Tank Davis, Mr. Abel Sanchez, one of the best trainers in the history of boxing. I don't care what y'all say. Abel Sanchez does not get his flowers. He does not get the credit he deserves. But the man did an interview with Fight Hype and Marcos Villegas, and he said something very factual about Gervonta Davis' last fight. Why wasn't Coach Calvin the head trainer in Gervonta Davis' last fight?
Why was Barry in the center and not his normal coach in the center? One camp doesn't make you familiar with a fighter.
Abel is right. Respect to Coach Barry, but Tank needed Coach Calvin in his corner for that Lamont Roach fight. Gervonta needed Coach Calvin, and only Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny in his corner for that Lamont Roach fight. If it's too many cooks in the kitchen, they're gonna mess up the finished product. In my personal opinion, if they got that rematch coming up, Gervonta Davis should train with Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, and that is it. Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny, and that is it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I seen this on Instagram from Fernando Vargas Jr., son of Fernando Vargas Sr. But Fernando Vargas Jr. put out this video on Instagram. What the hell is the man doing? I really couldn't tell you. The man talking about free game. All you boxers, bang them weights. I think this is a bad idea. Lifting weights is only gonna get you so far in the sport of boxing. Lifting heavy weights is only gonna get you so far in the sport of boxing. Unless you a heavyweight yourself, stay away from all them heavy weights. If you're gonna lift weights in the sport of boxing, light weights, lots of reps. That is the key. Fernando Vargas Jr., stop steering the people wrong. Muscle don't win fights.
That know me.
And the Zone Boxing had the audacity to even ask, should Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach rematch this year? What the hell do you think? What do you think you want to see next for Gervonta Davis? I don't want to see Gervonta Davis fight nobody unless his name is Lamont Roach. I don't want to see Lamont Roach fight nobody unless his name is Tank Davis. We got to see that rematch next. Not next year. Not 2 years from now. I want to see the rematch in Gervonta Davis' very next fight. Because I know he could beat the man. I know he could stop the man. Like I said, if Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin train him, nobody else.
That know me. I'm dangerous. That know me. I'm dangerous.